Hello, poker enthusiast up there in Brisbane. I'm really excited to make this announcement. I am going to start coming up to Brisbane once every 3 to 4 weeks. I'm going to run a seminar that's going to be more of a consistent seminar series that's going to really cover a broad range of things to make sure that we cover what's the most important things in poker and get your game to that next level. I'm going to start actually by doing a seminar next weekend. So that's going to be on November the 3rd on a Sunday. And I'm just going to really start covering a few really important topics that need to be covered right now in terms of peak performance and current game theory strategies that are going around. Because we've got a big series coming up. We've got WSOP in Sydney, then we've got Aussie Millions. So if you're planning on playing some of those tournaments, it's super important that we really cover what is actually being going around in terms of game theory and what the most efficient ways of playing are in our game today. Because a lot of you know the game's constantly evolving. There's new theories out there. There's new strategies. For every strategy, there's a counter strategy. So I'm going to make sure that I come up there next weekend on the Sunday, the 3rd of November, and really give you guys what I believe is the most important tools right now. Now, I actually ran this particular seminar in Sydney last weekend with about 7 of my students, and the feedback was awesome. Like, I did a little seminar on peak performance, and then we covered a lot of game theory after that. And what I believe is, the most important thing is really combining those two, because peak performance it is the biggest thing in terms of implementing everything. You can spend hours on end really practicing and trying to get your game to the next level, but if you can't implement it, you have no hope. So I will make sure that we would cover those in depth. I will talk about my history and my strategies that I've used that have worked for me, and some that haven't worked for me. So you'll get the raw stuff. So if you're really excited to join me on this seminar, send me an email to brendonrubie@gmail.com. Give me a call on 0448 528 838. Look, I'm really excited to work with people who I've worked with before, or if you're new to this, then by all means, everyone's welcome. The seminar is capped at 10 people, however, so make sure you get in early to secure your spot. To give you a little taste about what you can expect at the seminar, here's a little clip that I've taken from last week's seminar that I think might be of interest for you. So we're going to look at 5 different board textures: wet, dry, dynamic, and the other 2 on the next slide. So an example of a wet board is going to be one where there's lots of flush draws, straight draws. If the board pairs, like, the nuts are going to change a lot. So here, obviously the nuts is king 10, but the likelihood of a club coming is very high, board pairing, etc. It changes that. So we're going to talk about how we do our bet sizes differently, what types of hands we're going to check back rather than bet, and things like that. And then a dry board is sort of one where the turn's not going to really change much. So having a hand like King Queen here, the equity is really high because somewhere near 80 to 90% of the turn is not going to actually change what's happening on the board. But when we look at dynamic boards, these two look very similar, right? Because you've got a very dry board, and let's say you have King Queen on this board and King 8 on this board. You've got top pair and the second kicker on both boards. But the biggest difference... Well, I hope that clip gave you a little bit of excitement and passion for what the poker season really has ahead coming up. And remember, if you are interested, get in contact with me as soon as possible, because we're running next week. So I've got to make sure we lock this thing up and get it on the road. So looking forward to hearing from you guys, and feel free to share it with your friends if you think you have somebody else who might be interested in coming. It's going to be based on a first in, best dressed thing. So I look forward to hearing from you guys.